Guys, I know, twice in one day. How cool is this that we're live twice in one day? But I have a big announcement and I wanted to talk. I've got my whole team here with me and we're going to make the announcement together. But before we do, let me bring, just real quick, I'm going to bring Anastasia. Anastasia. Uh-oh. I spilled the beans.
Backtrack.
I don't think I can. Hold on, I'm hiding you. So, you probably know, but right now there's hardly anybody watching. So we wanted to come on today, talk a little bit about what we're doing, how we're handling everything that's going on. And actually, I think right now, how we're handling things says a lot about the kind of company we are. So I've got Jordan, I've got Anastasia, and I've got Ethan. I can probably do it in the order they came on. Anastasia came first. She hired Ethan, who is my child. Then Anastasia and I hired Jordan together, and it's been a really great team for just over a year, right?
Over a year, yep.
Yeah. And then I think the reason it says a lot about us, and you guys can chime in here, but I think the reason it says a lot about us where we are right now is that most people cannot call their marketing company, especially if it's, if they have a marketing company. A lot of people don't, but if they have a marketing company, usually it's somebody who's really big and they can't call them. And sometimes they'll say, oh, well, but they're less expensive because they're bigger and they're less expensive. And I'm like, okay, but how long does it take you to get in touch with them? And we just had this, Anastasia.
This morning, yep. We got a text. There was something in the picture that it was a picture that was provided to us, but still, it was something that we didn't know needed to be deleted. And so he texted us. I think I had it down within 30 seconds and then forwarded it to Jordan to take care of any future posting with that picture. So, yeah, I mean, it was very quick. It's not always that quick, but
it's pretty quick.
It's pretty quick when it comes to things that.
Yeah, usually it's at least 24 hours. I mean, at least, within 24 hours that we get something like that done. But I was actually talking about we won't name names, but the company who we've been trying to get in contact with for one of our clients, who's a bigger SEO company who has done something that's really detrimental to our client. And we've been trying to get them fixed. And the answer we received back was, it's in the queue.
Oh, I know.
And it's in the queue for how long?
And it's like the most simple thing. In the time that it took to write that email, they could have done it.
Right.
And it's something that's important for that client. And yeah, I mean,
but
it's been in the queue for days too. I think that, or since last week, really. I mean, I emailed them about last week. Well, what about the other company that have been working on something for one of our clients since February?
Yeah. Right.
And the thing is, February was not the first time we had contacted them about it. It was a long time before. And again, even though I emailed and I was a little snarky because I was, sick of this happening for our client, they still haven't. I've not received a response.
Right. So that's the difference, really, when you're working with our team, is that I tell people this, and Ethan, you'll appreciate this. I tell people we're a team of moms. I said, including Ethan. Yep. Because Ethan is among your friend group. You are the mom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you're the nurturer. Yeah. Definitely.
So we care a lot about our clients and we do a lot to take care of them. So that's the difference. I lost my Ethan again. He's frozen.
There he is.
There you go. Sorry, Ethan. Were you trying to talk? It's not going to matter.
Poor Ethan. St. Mary's doesn't have good internet connection.
So Ethan is coming home. Ethan has been at St. Mary's this whole time and working for us, but also trying to finish his senior year of college. So he's been working his little butt off, and he comes home next weekend. And I'm so excited, just in time to help us move.
Yep.
So that's very nice. And then he'll take our big car back down and bring all of his stuff back up, because he drives a little Prius, so his stuff isn't coming back up in that. So anybody want to add, Jordan, what have you been doing during the whole coronavirus?
Yeah. Well, just yesterday, I got this set up down in our basement in the guest bedroom, which
No.
has been much better. I've been trying to find the player, and I've got two boys that are, active and needing mom's help for things, and so just doing a little bit of juggling. But they've been great. They're hanging out with each other and getting their work done, so that I can get my work done.
Yeah.
And I've been spending a lot of time with them, which has been great. And work-wise, I've been doing a lot of updating to make sure that our posts are current to the time. Our client that's a restaurant, making sure that that's, as the information is changing, that we've got it up to date so that people know, what the current offerings are, all of that stuff. And then also, I've been working on some burgers and bands stuff, an article that's going to come out, and I don't know. I don't think we can announce it quite yet, but we're going to be giving out another grant here in the next couple of days, which is very exciting.
And let's talk a little bit about that, though, Jordan, because that was an actual grant, and it was. It's something we're really excited about. It's something that means a lot to us because it was an individual.
Yes. Yeah. So an individual contacted us wanting to make a difference, a more local impact, a direct impact, versus making a donation to, generally to a larger organization. So they really wanted to make that local impact, and we were able to work with them to find a good fit to fund a grant that was something that they cared about, and I think their child was involved in selecting it. And so I probably can say that it's going to purchase calm down kits for an elementary school. We're still in the process of announcing it, so we'll come out with that later. But it's really exciting to see people during this time just reaching out and wanting to make a difference and wanting to make an impact. That's been great.
Yeah. So we've been hoping that we're hoping now that other people will do the same thing. We'll have people who hopefully will either choose a school they want to support and give us a little bit of money, or they'll choose a school they want to support and give us the entire grant for that one. Because we do need that. And I think when we come back into schools, we're going to need it more than ever, because these kids, this is stressful, whether they're saying it's stressful or not, it's stressful.
And going back to school is going to be very stressful as well, right?
Yeah.
Having time off. I mean, who knows? Say we do go back on May 15th. That's 2 months that they've been off. And then they're only going to be there for a month, and then there's going to be summer. Or if we don't go back at all, that's potentially 6 months at home. And then the majority of it has been without being able to play with their friends and have that interaction. And I'm sure that once they do go back to school, just being around other children that are not your siblings is going to be an adjustment, like because when you're with your siblings, you say things and you're not as nice as you are to other people. My son always says, you know what, we should treat each other like friends, not siblings, because family is sometimes, we're honest, you're harsh, because you know that no matter what, they're going to be there to love you. And there's nothing that somebody can say. You can be mad at your family, but it's only going to last a certain amount of time. Like, there's still, for the most part, there's still that love there. So I think that there's going to be that adjustment there too. That's one of the struggles that I have with this. I've been very reluctant, as everybody here knows, about like burgers and bands, like canceling it. And because the grants, like I had in my mind when we started this year, the grants that we had the applications for, we were going to have all the money to fund every single one of them. And I was really hoping that it was going to be May. Like I wasn't even entertaining the idea that we could take until October to get the money for these grants. So it's like teary for me, because I really I really wanted that. And so that's, you know, it's part of the disappointment. I mean, there's so many things, but it is disappointing that
I was telling somebody it's not even just that for me. It's part of it. Part of canceling in May that's broken my heart is that I love that event. I love community. It is such a community event. There's such a feel for it, and it is like a very loud. You are not alone.
Yeah.
Very loud. You are not alone. We are here for you. You know,
it's so established in Severna Park, and I think that that's, you know, everybody knows who we are now. Everybody knows what we're doing, and it may have taken 2 or 3. You know, I think it took until last year for them to take us seriously, for them to say, you know what, this isn't just something that's come and is going to go away. Like, this is something that we're all committed to. And I mean, crying out loud, all the things that we've already gone through to make the to get the nonprofit status, the grants that we've applied for. There's so many things that go in behind the scenes that nobody knows about. And yet when they see us out and about now, you know, it really solidified us last year, especially having that second event. You know, I think that really, having that Annapolis event and seeing a completely different crowd was great. But I do love the Severna Park one. It's very intimate. It's small. and it's like a Greek wedding. You know, what's 1,000 people? It's small, and it's, you know people, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go. But I am going to miss that.
Yeah. No, it's going to be sad. All right.
But we're not calling it completely though, because no, not for May. I mean May, yes, but it doesn't mean that we won't do something in Severna Park.
Right.
I mean, we're still planning on doing something.
We're planning on doing something. It will just be very, very different. It will be very different. It won't be nearly as big. And we'll just figure it out. So we do need to make our announcement. And in order to do that, I'm going to bring Whitney on. Give me just 1 second. So we saw her in the beginning because I screwed up and I brought everybody on at one time. Hi, Whitney. How are you?
Hello. I'm great. I'm great.
So, we are so lucky because we're bringing Whitney on, another mom, and we're really lucky. Whitney's more than a mom. I mean, we're all more than moms, but I think that having that as the underlying of our company, that we really care. And I think, Whitney, we were just looking at your Enneagram.
Oh, okay.
And Anastasia, you had it. What was her number 1?
Giver.
And I think it says a lot about
our Enneagrams, Whitney, are almost identical. Just so you know. Like, I actually had them side by side when I was talking to Anne about them yesterday, and I was like, wow, it is kind of crazy. Like, there's, I think, one where you're like very different from me, but apart from that, I was like, interesting. How is it going to be working with myself? I don't know. I already have that problem.
I'm going to show you guys something real quick. Look.
Hi, Charlotte.
So, Charlotte, Ethan is here.
Yes.
Hi.
And Charlotte, I don't know you, but I'm a big fan of your son.
Yes. So, for those of you who don't know, Charlotte is one of my very best friends. I love her to bits, and we spend a lot of time having coffee together, actually. And Charlotte says hi, Ethan.
Yeah. Hi.
But we spent a lot of time together in London, and then when I moved back here, she ended up moving back to Denmark. And it's been almost 2 years now. So almost
yeah. No. Yeah.
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 So
a year and a half. A year
and a half. So in October of 2018, Charlotte's son Nikolai came over and spent a little over a month, about 6
Yeah, he was here for a long time. He didn't intend on staying for so long, but then he just wanted to stay. He loved us so much.
Exactly. We had a great time having him here. So he came.
I hear all about him in San Diego, so I feel like I know him a little bit.
Yeah, he's a sweet kid.
Exactly. So, all right, let's go back to bringing Whitney on and how Whitney has been a trooper, because you were supposed to start 6 or 7 weeks ago. So we are hiring in the middle of the COVID crisis, but you know, she was here before. We knew we were bringing her on. We knew she was going to do some stuff for us. And Whitney, do you want to tell everybody how we know each other?
Well, we know each other from working retail, run specialty specifically.
Exactly.
And the cool thing was you were the marketing person and you worked on the floor, and I was just on the floor. But you were inviting me to your networking events and your wellness events. And you're like, I want her there. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I mean, I have experienced in this before, but it was what you saw in just a little short time that we knew each other. So that's a really cool thing that it bonded us then, I think, is respecting each other and just realizing that we could work great together.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't remember at what point, but I said, you know, when I left that I definitely would love for you to work with me at some point. So
Yes.
it's really great to have you on board now.
Thank you.
And it's awesome. So one of the things about this team, and I have you all here, so I'll say it to you all as well. But I really appreciate that when this first started, and we were like, we don't know what's going to happen, right? We had no idea what's going to happen. And everybody said, that's all right. We'll step back. We'll take some time off, and you let us know when you need us. And so almost probably a weekend, I called Anastasia and Jordan and said, oh my God, it's so crazy. And it's crazy because we're reacting, right? We're doing things differently than we ever had before. So we've always been right there for people, but usually we get one request a day from, you know, so our clients kind of call us one at a time. And right now the phone rings in the morning, but sometimes it rings at 6 o'clock. And I will be on the phone from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. with just people calling with ideas of things they want to do or how they need to change something. And then you guys have been picking up, you know, doing the stuff, right? I'm sending it out going, hey, this is another request. This is another request. And it's nonstop. It's been nonstop.
Yeah. And we can't schedule. I mean, we do schedule ahead a lot. It's the only way you can do it. But right now, because it's changing day to day, you know, that we don't know how long this is going to last, you know, what impact it's going to have. I mean, at first, you know, we were able to, with our retail clients, we were able to like kind of switch to the curbside pickup, and then they had to close. And then, you know, but now there seems to, things have been picking up a little bit more. And then the uncertainty of who's essential, who's not essential, whether or not people are going to let others into their home to take care of things. It's definitely, we can't go very far ahead because we just don't know what tomorrow brings. And if we put all this time into it now, and then we have to go and undo everything, it's kind of not worth it.
Right. Right. So it's just, everything is very fast. So was it early last week or at the end of the week before, I think, I called Anastasia and I said, time is just really weird right now. I have no idea when it was, but I called Anastasia and I said, Uncle, I need more help.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm crying, Uncle. So we called Whitney in, and she's going to be helping with a lot of things. And then the ultimate goal is to get Whitney in, because I am moving. Everybody knows I'm moving. The business will stay here. I will be here several days a week, but since we're moving to Chevy Chase, we'd like to expand. And so I'm going to be doing more networking events out there. I'll still come to some out here, but it's going to be nice to have Whitney, who is Miss Networker. She knows everybody, to be there to help us with these things, right? So
yeah, we're really excited to teach you how things are starting. And Whitney and I have spent some time already kind of going over things and getting her slowly started. And then we will, you know, hopefully build more. And Whitney will be a great tool for helping bring more business in for definitely. So.
Yeah. And she's so creative, right?
Yeah.
So Whitney, you want to tell everybody your idea for Burgers and Bands? Because that was the one that I was like, oh,
I know.
Oh, well, yeah. So I saw it somewhere because there's like running Spotify, whatever playlists. And I saw some company made one, and I'm like, why not do it for Burgers and Bands? Why not have a Burgers and Bands Spotify and iHeart or whatever playlist where all those bands can submit their song? Like, they could submit their songs, but you guys can also pick your favorites of the past ones and things like that. But it's a way to include the local musicians and national ones if they want to join it. But it's a way to help everybody have a great playlist too.
Yeah.
listen to
Great
the
idea.
So yeah, so I thought that was a great idea. I thought that was a really great idea.
Oh,
Plus,
definitely.
senior work, you've gone on to do run specialty, and you've gone on to do run specialty in marketing.
Hmm.
Right? That's
in
been,
social, yeah, social media marketing, yeah.
and I saw one of your posts a few weeks ago, actually, about with the ABCs,
Yes.
and it was so clever. So you came up
Yeah.
with scavenger hunt, right? And,
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, so I love her ideas. I love how she works. I love how her brain works, and I think you're going to fit great on the team. And we just wanted to introduce you to her.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
So, is there anything you think people should know about you because you're joining this? Tell us tell us how many kids do you have?
Well, so here's the deal, right? So, Anne, you have each generation. You have the college graduate, the college graduate going to getting ready to graduate grad school, and a school age son, right? So I have two college age kids, actually one that should be finished, but just a few more classes. But they're both home with us right now, which is an interesting time. And I was just talking to a friend about it, that when you send your kid off to college, there's that whole you're pumping them up, getting ready, but there's that nervousness of how's life going to be different. In our family, we call it migration because they come back. It's not an empty nest, it's migratory. But now we've been migrating and we've all been here together in the nest again. And it's just an interesting thing because I was just sharing with a friend that when they go back again, we've had all this privilege of extra time together. That's going to be a different feeling when it goes back. Because once it gets into that cycle, you get used to, okay, so it's just the next semester. Oh, now we're preparing for graduation. And there's just all that difference of it. So my kids are 21 and 24. So I can be a college resource for people. But yeah, so I have got my two kids. My husband's working at home. He's luckily has his own office and has been a pro at working at home because he does it from time to time anyway. So all the different rooms in our house are closed doors with people working in them right now. And I got the dining room.
Well, it is funny because I have Zane at home, and this is different than when you have little kids, right? He's down in this music room. Once in a while, I will say yesterday I was doing a live presentation, which, by the way, I don't like live presentations. I prefer this chatting thing. So I was presenting, and it's very uncomfortable because you can't move. You can't talk. You can't stand up. It's just uncomfortable. Anyway, we were about to start it, and Zane is playing drums in the basement, so I had to go bang on the floor to say, okay, stop. But other than that, generally, I forget he's here. And then Blaze has been working. He's still essential, so he goes into the office, and then if he doesn't, he sometimes uses my office to get out of the house because he doesn't have an office here. And he, what he does is stuff that he needs privacy for. So anyway, so it's important that he has space. But yeah, it's crazy this whole time at home. Ethan, can we hear you now? Can you tell us tell us what you're finishing up there?
I'm finishing up everything. I have a big final paper due on Monday that I have not done nearly as much for as I need to. I have my senior project coming up, and I think that's due next week or the week after. And then I'm presenting it online, which will be interesting because it's on a platform I've never used. It's just all the classes giving their final projects, have final exams, just everything going on, and then obviously doing all the stuff for you guys as well.
Yeah, exactly. Coming and helping us move to a brand new house and that you haven't even seen.
I know.
So yeah, that's crazy.
Nobody has.
Nobody has. Picked it the last day before you could do anything, and then we went into hiding. So I wanted to do this for a few reasons. I wanted to do it because I think it's important that you meet our whole team, you see our whole team, you meet Whitney, but also because I think in the next few weeks there's probably going to be a lot of times where I used to say, hey, Anastasia's going to call you, right? And Anastasia's still here. But I think there's going to be one of the ways that we train here is to bring you in helping me, right? If you help me, I touch everything. So that gets your hands on everything. And then you can move and do other stuff, right? But you really need to know how it all works. And so Whitney's going to be working with me a lot. And there will be a lot of times where I say, and let me introduce you to Whitney. But I don't want you to just think this is some person who doesn't work here and isn't a part of this and not a mom, because there's probably some rule about hiring just moms, and I guess we could hire a dad too.
And we're equal opportunity in.
We are.
Let me put my director of operations hat on here. And it is not, and the thing is too, is that we kind of, how we find people is not the way you normally find people.
No.
We don't go to headhunters or LinkedIn or like any kind of hiring app. We are all about, it's that personal connection, you know. It is, oh yeah, like get to know you a little bit and then go from there. And I think that makes a difference, because when you're hiring, and I mean, not everybody can do this, but if we were to just hire somebody off of a resume, off of a website, and even having the interview, the people that we hire don't know that they're in an interview. They don't know that the conversation they're having with us it may lead to a job. It's kind of like, oh, okay, like, oh, well, you get to know a little bit about the person in a more genuine fashion, because they're not trying to impress you they're not trying to impress us for a job, because they don't even know that the job exists. Because you know what? We don't even know the job exists until we hire somebody.
Well, and I'm thinking about that. Part of that is that the most important thing that we do is care about our clients.
Mm-hmm.
You can't teach that.
No.
You can't teach caring. That's either something you do or you don't do. You either care about the people or you don't. But I can teach social media, and I can teach marketing,
mm-hmm.
and I can teach networking even. Because if you care, networking comes relatively easy, because you just like people, right? But who's not going to fit in here is somebody who says, I hate people.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You run into those people all the time. Oh, I hate people.
And people that aren't empathetic. I mean, I think that I was telling Whitney Jordan the other day, I'm like, oh yeah, Jordan cries even more than I do. It is so, maybe not. It is so easy to get me into tears, you know, like things touch me and I can't help myself. I cry about it. I mean, I've already cried once in this thing. So
I've been an absolute wreck, because, you know, I've been in this house for 16 years. And so you keep saying things like, this is the last time we're taking the garbage out. Like all these this is the last Friday in the house. This is the last. I'm like, oh my God, please stop saying that.
Yeah.
And so I keep crying, and I'm like, and so, I'm going to cry anyway. But I told Blaze, I'm like, when they pack up the house, I'm going to the other house. So I'm going to be there because the electrician's coming and the chimney guy's coming, and we've got all these other things. We've got the cable coming in. So I'll go and wait for those people on the other side. You handle this, because I just can't.
Yeah, actually, Whitney and I had a whole conversation about this the other day, about you and the house. And I was telling her how I'm like, I don't think she realizes how much this is going to.
Oh, I know.
This is like, I'm preparing. I told Whitney, I'm like, we have to be prepared. We don't know what's coming, because this is a very big deal, you know. And I told you that a few weeks ago when I was like, hey, when the kids are home, I want to take a picture of your family outside your home.
I know.
It's a big deal.
And
you
I know
know,
they're going to be here. So, and the people who are buying our house, I don't think they would agree to it, but I'm going to ask them anyway. If once this is over, I could bring my family and get a picture on the front porch with us, because we can't get this final picture.
Oh, nobody's going to be home?
Ethan will be home, but I don't think Blake will be here.
I'm going to call I'm not going to say the word, but we're going to get this picture if it's the last thing I do. You know, all the
Blaze FaceTime in and hold him on like the iPad for the picture.
No, I will get him down here.
We'll get him down here, get a picture on the front porch.
This is something that's important. It's your family, and they know not to mess with me.
Exactly. Anastasia's the other mother. Anyway, all right. Hey, thank you guys. I know that, you know, it's Friday. We probably all need to go stand in line at the grocery store. And actually, let me just tell you that I think Blaze is doing the grocery store for me for right now until I can get. I swear to God, I got PTSD from getting hit by that car.
Oh,
every time I have to go, my heart. I get all upset, and that's another
Yeah.
time I cry. Every time I know I gotta go to the grocery store, I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so,
Well, at least you don't have raccoons in your attic.
at least I don't have raccoons, and at least I'm not dealing with a 7 or 8 year old who doesn't want to do.
Let me tell you, Athena took over homeschooling today. It went a lot better, but that's because she and I had a whole heart-to-heart the other day about this, and it's not going well in the Van Gresham house. No.
All right, hey, Whitney, we are so glad to have you. We are.
Welcome.
I think you're gonna fit right in here. I think it's gonna be so much fun, and I can't wait until we're all back in the office again. Anastasia's getting, as a matter of fact, she is gonna order your desk next. You're ordering it, and then you're picking it up Thursday. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very cool. Anyway, hopefully we can all see each other again because I miss ya.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be office mates, Whitney.
I know. I told Whitney we're going to have to take her. I mean, we take people out to lunch, and we can't even take her out to lunch.
Do an IOU.
Yeah,
Exactly.
definitely.
Yeah, and we will definitely do that because we always do. And then I'm going to be fine. I'll just cry a lot between now and then. But I really will be fine. The new house is lovely, and
It's a very exciting time.
It is exciting. It is. We're all excited. So except Rocky, who's a little disturbed by.
Oh yeah.
We'll see how he does.
Yeah.
So, for sure, the new neighbors are going to love him.
it's DC. Everybody has a dog. I know.
Yes, Rocky, exactly. All
It's
right,
all those little tiny dogs, and then they're going to be like, oh. Like Ariadne said, the horse. Why do I have a horse, Mommy?
I am going to hit end, and then for the live, and I'm going to come right back to you. Hold on one second.
Okay.